a good time to buy NBA. What about WNBA? Eric, I took your advice and began selling all my mid to high-end Jaden Daniels. Happy to say that it's going pretty well for me.
Do you see that factory line Bulls come back as 10s? Should I just not even try it, or should I send it in and see what happens because they're so inconsistent?
Well, my problem is you still have to go through and price each card individually. Do you know of any way to speed that process up?
We are live for the Eric Michael Show, where we talk about business, sports cards, sports, money, and everything in between. And if you like that stuff, if you like sports, you like money, you like collectible stuff, you like business, like, comment, subscribe to this channel, because that is what we talk about. And right now, while I'm speaking, it is July, and we are heading into the best part of the year for sports cards specifically, and that's because we're getting closer to football. So if you've done it right, that means you've bought probably football cards in February, March, April, got them graded, held them, and now they're going to slowly increase in value. So if you have any questions, feel free to call on that number you see below. I answer them. I go back and forth. I try to help people as much as possible, turn sports cards into a side income, because sports cards changed my life, and it's the reason for all this. And I'm on a mission for it to help change as many people's lives as possible. But while we wait for some callers, let's look at some cards to buy. So it's an interesting time of the year because it's a little too late to be buying football, because if you're buying a football card and you're buying it now in July and you're getting it graded, there's a chance it comes back to you after the season starts. And if you've ever listened to anything I ever say, I never hold cards into the season because most players don't perform up to expectations. Just most players don't go up in value once the season starts because they're inflated. Right? They're all the way up here. And for them to maintain their inflation, they have to play really well. And when they play really well, they don't even go up in value a lot of time. So I don't like to play that game. I don't like to play the game of guessing of what player is going to be good, what player is going to be bad, because let's be honest, nobody knows. Even scouts get it wrong most of the time, right? If you go back, or an interesting statistic is 50% of NFL quarterbacks, so half the NFL quarterbacks drafted in the first round are out of the league within 5 years. And if scouts who have hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal can't get it right, I doubt I can. I doubt you can. And of course, you could get lucky, and being lucky is better than being good. But with that said, so right now I'm looking to buy basketball. Okay. And the reason I'm pulling out this piece of paper is because I got a few names on my list. So basketball is a good buy right now because you can buy it now, you can get it graded. And the objective is to sell it before the season. And if you buy a card now and get it graded, and it takes July to August, August to September, September to October, that gives you 3 months to buy a card, get it graded, and sell it, which is more than enough time. Even if PSA is taking a while, which they have been, it's still fine. So let's go and look at some basketball cards. So, and also part of the reason I think basketball is a good buy right now, better than usual, not because the players are good. Like, a lot of the players aren't even that good. Like Stephon Castle, he's like the guy who is like the buy, and a lot of guys probably haven't even heard of him. You know, Reed Shepard, he's my favorite. Zach Edey, Jared McCain, Zachary Rishashar, Ron Holland, Khalil Ware. Like, these guys aren't like great, right? None of them are averaging 20 plus points. Like, none of these guys are great. But for that reason, a lot of these guys, nobody is buying their cards to get graded. And because no one is buying their cards to get graded, guess what that means? That means there's a lot of cards to buy and get graded. So let's start this search off. Let's look at just a player by player basis. So this is my personal favorite player. I think because I think he has the highest chance to actually be good, in my opinion. Not that I know who's going to be good or not, right? But what we could do is we can go on eBay and we could do minimum bid count 1. And only look at cards that have bids on them. And this is like the lazy way to do it. This is how I look at cards, because this is the easiest way to find auctions. Most good cards are actually via best offer. So when I mean via best offer, this is what I'm talking about. So if you go to like newly listed and you do like minimum price, let's call it $75, most cards are listed or best offer. So you make an offer, you go back and forth, and then you come to an agreement. However, me personally, I don't have just a lot of time to be on eBay at the moment. So I just like to find auctions. I bid. If I win, great. If I don't, no big deal. And this is interesting because this card is in New Zealand, which is interesting. New Zealand, $3 for economy shipping outside the US. Let's see. This card, there's some whiting up there at the top right, but buying cards from overseas, I personally like doing that because they're probably not going to be grading cards, right? Because it's a little bit more difficult to get cards graded. Let's see. So there's a bunch of select stuff. Something crazy of Reed Shepherd. This card's from China, actually. I'm going to stay away from the autograph stuff. Usually there's more profit margin for some reason with the not autograph stuff. So when I say profit margin, I mean like the percent from buying it to when it gets a PSA 10. Usually it's higher with the non-autograph stuff. So I'm just going to stay away. Stefan Castle. Let's look at the next one. Let's see. Stefan Castle. So he's the guy that sells for the most amount of money in like this year's NBA Prism. And for those of you guys that don't know how it works, like the guys who got drafted last year, so these guys that you're seeing right here now, they got drafted in 2024. Their good cards don't come out until 2025. So Cooper Flagg, who just got drafted, he has like Bowman Chrome University cards, which are decent, but his like good cards, like this stuff that you're looking at, won't come out until the next year, I believe. But Panini is losing the license to the basketball stuff, so they might release stuff before the year ends because I think they lose the license once the year starts January 1st. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah. But let's see. Stefan Castle. Nah. This card looks off-centered. You see the top there. A little bit bigger than the bottom. Not going to bother. Topps Chrome. I wonder how the Topps Chrome stuff is doing. So Topps Chrome stuff, the problem is it's not licensed. So Topps doesn't have the license yet for the basketball stuff. Hence why you see no Spurs logos, basketball logos, no names of anything. You just see San Antonio. But I wonder, like, if I'm curious if we looked at like Stefan Castle, Topps Chrome Auto PSA 10. By the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to call to the number down below. I wonder if there's any sales of. No, there's none. This is just his McDonald's All-American stuff. This isn't like his NBA stuff. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if I bought this card, if I'm going to make enough money if it grades a 10, because my objective is I want to at least double my money if a card is going to grade a 10. So if a card sells for $100 and it costs $20 to get it graded, do the math. I want to at least double my money at the end of everything. Just a rule I abide by. It's worked for me for a long time. But I just don't know if I'll get there with that card. Let's see. Stefan Castle is blocked a little bit. You can see the centering is blocked. This looks weird. I'm going to stay away. Something skeeves me out. Blue Prism, blue seismic prism out of 99. Let's hop over to Only All. So Only All is where I buy more expensive cards usually. So I do two things. I buy cards to get graded, but usually what I do is I actually buy more expensive cards already graded. I sit on them for 2, 3, 4 months, and hopefully I make 20, 30, 40% on my money. It takes less time. Can only degrade the cards. That's what I do personally a little bit more now. But let's look at the basketball stuff. See what's ending in auction. So I'm looking for newer stuff. I think Wembanyama is a decent buy. I like to buy the newer stuff because it's much more volatile. So you can see I bid on. I'm a fan of buying Paolo Banchero. So Banchero, someone like him, right? He was a rookie in 2022. So you're not going to find a lot of his cards graded or cards to get graded because they're 2-3 years old at this point. But I like his value to rise before the season starts because I think the Magic are pretty good. And I think this card was actually up for auction, but I guess the person didn't bid on it. So, let's see. What do we have here? Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to call into the number below. Usually it takes one person to call in and then the floodgates open. Is usually what happens. So whoever wants to be that first caller, you let me know. Let's see. Kobe. Can I filter by year? Yes, I could. 2023, 2022, 2024. So I could filter by year. And this will show me the newer stuff. So Wembanyama, this is a decent card. See, I don't like buying cards where everyone could see what I paid when I'm buying higher end cards. Chet Holmgren, it's a cool card, but nothing crazy. Caitlin Clark, her stuff is booming right now. It's crazy. I wonder. There's nothing crazy here. Usually, only all has slightly better stuff. Eamon Thompson. Oh boy, PSA 7. Too bad. Let's begin to answer some questions in the chat here. So there's some questions. All right. While I wait for you guys to call in, let's see. Morning, fellas. Morning. First question from Rob Dioso. I'm waiting on my cards to get back from grading. Should be at the end of the month. Okay, that's not a question. Never mind. You're just telling me something. Great. I hope they do really well for you. Was from Shannon. Was wondering if I should trade this Bo Nix Kaboom I hit in a retail box before the season starts. Buy basketball with the funds. Yes, that's me personally. What I would do. So if you look here at like a Bo Nix downtown. So I'm assuming you're talking about this card. So you could see this card. This is not, oh yeah, it's downtown. Oops. Good call. That is not a Kaboom. So Bo Nix Kaboom. Brain fart. Bo Nix Kaboom, I assume, is it the vertical or I assume it's the vertical you're talking about? I have no idea though. So you can see it sells for 3,200 raw. PSA 10 is about 5,000, so it's not like that great of margins. But you already have it on you, so if it's the horizontal, it's $1,000, and PSA 10 is $1,800. So if it's in good condition, I would get it graded, and I would use. So if you look at like the PSA website, so PSA, let's type in like card pricing, and if you look here, let's see, authentication and grading. So I would use this service the 20 business days, so you know you're going to get it back for the season because it's a more expensive card. So I would definitely, whether it's sell, whether it's trade. I mean, if it's me personally, I don't want to give you financial advice here, but if it was my card, I would definitely have it sold before the season starts. Let's see, Jason. Eric, I took your advice and began selling all my mid to high end Jaden Daniels. Happy to say that it's going pretty well for me. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. But we got our first caller, so let's let it rip. Hey, you got Eric. You're live.
Hey, Eric. How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's your name?
My name is Joe.
Joe, where are you calling from, Joe?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Cool. How can I help you?
I have the Facebook groups have been a game changer for me, thanks to you and your suggestion.
Nice.
And I've done a couple claim sales, and I've done surprisingly, I didn't know it was going to go this well, but a couple $1,000 in cards. And I haven't done an auction on the Facebook group. I'm a little scared to. Do I just stick with the claim sales, or do you think auctions would be even better?
What type of stuff are you selling?
Well, I guess it depends on the time of year. Right now, I'm kind of selling the stuff that I had as a child right now, growing up and stuff, but also not the rookies with football, because I want to wait for that until August, July area. But, I have a lot of veteran type stuff that is pretty good right now. I guess it just depends on the time of year,
Yeah. Me personally, when I sell, I do everything I could to avoid auctions. So the way I do it, or like back in my heyday, at least when I was doing it full time, what I would do is, so the childhood stuff you have, you will, if any of it's worth getting graded, get it graded, and then I would attempt to sell it like via best offer or Facebook groups, then use auctions as last resort. But the way I do it is, so let's pretend, right, we're going into football, right? I'll begin selling my football probably like end of July into August when the National Card Show starts. And then as it gets to like August like 25th or August 30th, and some stuff just hasn't sold, I haven't got what I wanted for it, then I just auction it the last 2 weeks before the NFL season starts. And I do that for every single sport, because even if I don't like auctions, because they, in my experience, they usually don't turn out the way I wanted to. They turn out okay, but it's not as good as I thought they were gonna. So I use it as last resort before the season.
So kind of use auction on the stuff that you're having a harder time getting rid of.
Yep. Correct. Yep. That's exactly right, awesome. What I do.
And then is there, and I'm sure it is what it is when it pertains to this, but is there, for lack of a better word, like a hack or something, or is there any way that you can save money on shipping when you send this stuff out to people?
Shipping shouldn't be that expensive. How much are you paying for shipping?
It kind of depends on the package, anywhere between $4 to $8.
Are you shipping like one card at a time, or are you shipping like bulk lots of cards?
If it's one card at a time, it's, more towards the $2 to $4 range. But I kind of pass off that cost to the customer, but I really don't go over. It's just like a $6 flat, no matter how many cards they get. But because I don't want to be as fair as possible. You want to kind of eat some of that cost because you want to be a good dude, good business person.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of checking to see if there was any kind of, other way to go about it. I just go on, the USPS website. They do give me somewhat of a discount just because, I've been buying a lot and stuff like that. I just didn't know if
there's no way to get cheaper shipping. I mean, shipping's already relatively cheap, at least in my opinion. And then when I ship, I use a website called pirateship.com. And it's actually, I don't know, it just like saves the addresses. I think it gives you a small discount as well. It's just very like clean and easy to use and easy to put in people's addresses, and it saves, and you could duplicate shipments very easily. It's like very quick. But that's what I use to ship. Is it any better or worse than the USPS website? I mean, it's probably like all similar. But that's what I use to ship. Pirateship.com.
Okay. Awesome. All right, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do have two cards. That I'm having trouble with.
Okay.
One is I'm not quite sure if I should get graded or not, and then the other one is a Justin Jefferson that I am not quite sure about how much it is.
Okay.
Can I text pictures to that phone number?
Yeah. What? So like the first one was what card?
Cooper Flag.
Okay. Yeah, send them to the phone number. There's no other callers at the moment, so you got time. Hold on, it's still coming in. And just tell me what type of card it was. Cooper Flag what? Well, it comes in.
It's the Bowman Chrome U Orange Refractor. It's the Boundless Potential out of 25. And on eBay, there's one sale for $700 raw and one sale for $450 raw. But one was in May and one was in April of this year. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so first one, Cooper Flag, Boundless Potential out of 25. Well, this card looks nice. So the card, wait, is it graded or no?
It's not graded. It's raw.
Oh, okay.
And, on eBay, there's been two sales, raw sales, one for $700 in May and one in $450 in April.
Let's see. Cooper Flag, Bowman Chrome Boundless out of 25. Let's see. So you said there was sales for 400 and 700?
700 and 450.
Okay, so let's see. I see.
Range. And the 450 was first.
Let me go to 130 point. Do you know what 130?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know about the 130 point.
Okay, cool. Great. All right. So the last sale actually sold for 505. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But your card actually looks pretty clean. So I'm getting that graded, dude. Like this stuff graded is like, I wouldn't be surprised if you sold it near 1500 graded as a 10. And if you look at like other Boundless Flag PSA 10. So like if you type in Boundless Flag, Bowman, Chrome, PSA 10, and you look at there's not a lot. Never mind. But you might be able to get close to 1,500, dude. As a 10,
Okay.
especially with I would send it in using the $40 service.
Right, get it back quicker.
Yep. That card I'd want that back ASAP. And yeah, I'm selling that thing before the season starts. Me personally, I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I don't think Flags. I think Flag is gonna be like, like Chet Holmgren, maybe a little better. I don't think he's gonna be like this sensation that's gonna average like 25 a game. That's my personal opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I also feel that if he's going to be anything, it's going to be like 3-4 years down the road anyway.
Yeah, right. Think about it. Like, think about this. Here's a penny for your thoughts. Who's the last NBA player, like first season, like rookie season, where they like were supposed to be great and they were just better than great? They were just unbelievable. Can you even think of one? I can't. Yeah. There's guys who like, you don't expect anything from and they have really good seasons. But these guys like Zion and Wembanyama and Flag, like these coveted number 1, number 2 picks, do they ever turn out how they're supposed to their rookie season? Hell no. It's so hard to live up to that hype. People expect them to average like 25 a game.
Yeah. They're just testing the waters, trying to figure things out.
Yeah. So I'm selling that for sure before the season starts if I was in your shoes. And then you have this Panini Flawless Justin Jefferson. You want me to tell you like what it's worth?
Yeah. I can't find anything on it. What was interesting is that the same card, and I didn't get it on Pristine. I got it maybe.
All right.
I don't.
So let's see.
Less than a year ago, but on Pristine it sold for like 21.
Okay, so it's a Flawless Justin Jefferson. What is this? What is it?
1 out of 5.
Go Tigers. Signature. Okay. Flawless. It's horizontal. It's out of 5. Let's take a look here. Try to figure out the hell this thing's worth. I think the best site to use for this might be Market Movers. So Justin Jefferson Flawless. Wait, what year was it again? 2020?
2020.
Okay. 2020 out of 5. Let's see. There's nothing on Market Movers. Nice. All right. Got a 130 point. Justin Jefferson. Let's see. Out of 5. Flawless. 2020.
$9.
Yeah, there is. There is not a lot. Let's just type in Justin Jefferson Flawless. Let's give it about a 5.
It's a 10-10.
Okay, yeah, the 10-10 with Flawless is no easy feat. Okay, so his in a Vikings uniform, which doesn't mean anything. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing. There is actually nothing. Okay, this is me ballpark. Okay. So, what you said there was a sale of $2,000?
There was like on Pristine Auction. If you kind of Google, I know there's a lot of words and stuff in the description on the PSA label. But if you type all that in, Pristine Auction sold it for $2,100. That exact card.
When?
2023.
Okay. Yeah, it's not worth that anymore. If I had to take a guess, this is me spitballing here, just off my intuition. I would say 800 to 1,000. Probably more like 800. But it could be 500, it could be like 1,200. Keep that in mind. But if I had to guess what it's worth, I'd say 800-ish.
Okay. Sounds
cool.
Perfect. That's one little side question that I had when you were talking about Viking and LSU uniforms. When you're buying like rookies and stuff, is it more valuable with them in their pro uniform?
Correct. Yeah. So, so like I assume like you're getting into sports cards to make a side income. It sounds like, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah. And you're going to do that through buying cards and getting them graded.
Right.
So when you buy a card, get it graded, and you sell it, odds are you're probably selling it to a like a collector, right? Like if you bought a card of Justin Jefferson and you sold it to someone, probably someone who wants to hold Justin Jefferson for the long term, and they always prefer stuff in their NFL uniform. Why? I don't know. I'm not sure. But a lot of the college stuff, like the Bowman Chrome University stuff, like that Cooper Flag stuff, has come on pretty hot late, thanks to like Caitlin Clark. Like Caitlin Clark was the first one, at least in my memory, where her college stuff really boomed. And
Right.
the other college stuff does okay, but once the pro stuff comes out, nobody wants the college stuff anymore, so the margins go down when you buy them and get them graded. So long story short, yeah, buy the NFL uniform stuff. People want it much more.
Yeah. Okay, which is why you want me to get rid of that Cooper Flag thing ASAP, right?
Well, yes. And even if it was a Cooper Flag Pro uniform, which he doesn't even have cards of that yet, I would still sell it. I just think Cooper Flag is just your classic case of it. He is so hyped. I just don't think there's a chance he lives up to that hype. You know, I could be totally be wrong, of course, but I just don't think there's a chance he lives to that hype. That is so hard to do. And keep in mind, the Spurs probably, they'll be an okay team, but once they start losing, he's averaging like 14 a game. Maybe it's going to go down.
Right. All right, cool. I appreciate your help, man.
Yeah, good luck.
Love what you're doing.
Good luck out there, man. Keep crushing.
Thanks.
Cool. No other callers? No other callers. Wow, you guys are shy. Usually there's a flood of callers. Let's see here. I'll keep answering questions in the chat while I wait for you folks to call. Let's see. Eric, I know you say to sell all NFL cards before the season starts, but in the case of Joe Milton, is it worth holding onto his cards if he gets the starting nod in Dallas if Dak underperforms? Me personally, I would sell it. That's just what I would do. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, for them to bench Dak Prescott, I mean, they're paying that guy a lot of money. He's usually pretty consistent. He's usually never terrible. I don't think it'll happen, number one. Number two, I'm selling him before the season starts, too. Just, people will start to forget about him. Dak Prescott will start playing well, and his value will slowly go down, is usually what happens. So if it was me, I would sell. He's obviously not playing, so there's not nearly as much like hype. But if it was me, I would sell it. Answer your question. I've consigned a card. It's on eBay now. What do you think it sells for? A Jared McCain 2022 Bowman Best Speckle Refractor Auto SGC. Wow. Okay. I'll just give you a quick summary of what I think it'll sell for. I'll look it up. Speckle McCain Auto. What year was it? It was 2022 Bowman. Let's see. I have no. If there's no sales, I'm gonna have no idea. Yeah, there's like no sales. Sounds like it's worth a few $100s to me, but send me a picture of the card. I have no idea. What do you think about Julian Strother? So, buying his cards and getting them graded, I think it's a very good idea. I don't even have his name like on my little list of cards to buy in front of me over here. But if the problem, so like, if you look here, like Julian Strother, spell Prism Silver. So you could see his Silver Prism's like $4. So it's not expensive enough to get graded, right? For some reason, a raw is $4 and a PSA 10 is $14. So you have to look for higher end stuff. So I would just type in like Julian Strother, and I would do like newest first, so you don't run over cards. Oh wait, what was that? Actually, a pretty cool card. National Treasures. Oh, Strother was a rookie in 23, not 24. Oh, okay. But same thing. He probably still doesn't have a lot of his cards graded. So he was actually a rookie 1 year back. But what I would do is get rid of this. I'm looking at sold items. He doesn't have a ton of higher end cards. So I would like go newest first and do like minimum like I don't know, $75. So you're not looking at the cheap garbage, because even though I'm sure there's a lot of cards to grade it, some of them are just not worth it. So this is the stuff you want to be looking for. I would only buy his rookie stuff. So his rookie years from 2023. There's not a ton of stuff, to be honest, of him. Julian Strother. Let's see. Yeah, there's just not. Like, I think it's a good idea. I think he could gain some hype because he had that one good game in the playoffs, but there's just not a lot of cards to buy and grade. So I think it's a good idea. I just don't know what cards you're going to buy and grade. You could buy cards to hold, like Donruss rated, gold, like this stuff. But once again, I don't know how many collectors there are of him. So when you buy the card and get it graded, if he doesn't have a lot of hype before the season starts, I just don't know if it's going to pop off or pop up like that. I probably wouldn't. If the objective is to make money, there's way more guys from this year, or like when I say this year, I mean the class of 2024, that have new cards to buy, to get graded, to make money on. So even though it's a nice idea in theory, it's like, why not just go for the easier money where there's probably more of it? So because these guys like Nikola Topic, right? He's an example. Is he going to be a great player? Probably not, but he's volatile. He's not proven. And because of that, people get excited before the season starts. People will want his stuff, even though he's not like this excellent player. So I would not, if I was you or me, I would not buy it. My morning show is on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is LeBron a good, you guys could call in instead of being shy and just asking these questions via the chat. It's much more engaging for me when I call in instead of just talking to this lens. But is LeBron a good buy right now in case? Oh, we have a caller. All right. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, Michael. Actually, I've been watching your stuff for a while now, and I just caught you live today, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Sweet. What's your name?
I'm doing Sean.
Sean from where?
I'm from Georgia right now.
Cool.
Kind of traveling around. I'm used to from Florida and Georgia, but I've been doing your raw and grading stuff, and I've been pretty successful at flipping 80% buying slabs for 80%, selling those too on shows and stuff just for fun. But my question is, when grading, like I'm very particular when I'm grading my 10. My like when I send them in, my 10s you're pretty consistent. Like if I send in 20, I probably get 12 or 13, which I think is pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
But dimples and like factory lines and stuff like that, like, yes, I've never really looked into that, and I'm sure you've graded a lot more cards than I have. But like, are they consistent with that? Like, if I see a factory line, I don't send it in. If I see like 2 dimples, I don't send it in. So I guess my question is like, do you see that factory lines dimples come back as 10s? Should I just not even try it, or should I send it in and see what happens because they're so inconsistent?
Tiny factory lines, sure, but if it's anything noticeable, I don't send it. I try to stay away from the factory lines. 1 dimple I send in, okay. two dimples I'm out. It's basically my rule of thumb.
2 dimples.
Yeah, unless
gotcha.
It's like, yeah. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that's kind of where I was at. Like, I'm just like, I'm not trying to waste money, and I've actually gone into bigger cards. Like now, I'm just doing like, mangas, uptowns, downtown, like just basic big cards to try.
You're grading those at 60%. Yeah. You must be making some pretty decent cash over there.
I'm trying. Yeah, I got some funds, and I ended up deciding to go just big cards. And because the upside, I actually got a gold out of 10 Caleb Williams rated retro, and I came back at 10. I got it for $500, and I sent it into golden. So it's like I got a $5,000-$6,000 card at least.
Wow.
So that was kind of what like I need to get in these big cards because buying $500,000 cards and it come back at 10 and they sell for $3,000-$4,000. Like the upside's crazy.
Yeah, so, good for you. I'm asking this to toot my own horn here, but did you learn how the buying and grading stuff from me, or were you doing it before and just watching my stuff helped you?
So I started on Whatnot doing card breaks. I didn't enjoy it, so then I started looking at raw cards and stuff like that. And I really was to get the funds to open up more packs, to like opening up and ripping. And I have the worst luck known to man when it comes to that. So I needed money for it. But I stopped doing that.
I think everybody has bad luck if it makes you feel better.
Yeah. But I did end up watching your YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I just see a lot of negative stuff. But I don't really understand that. But that's another thing.
I could explain to you that. I could explain to you the negative stuff.
Yeah.
the people in sports cards. The negative stuff comes from the people that have been buying and selling sports cards for a long time. They don't like how I monetize off the hobby through teaching people. That's why.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, I can see their side of it. There's old school people out there for sure.
Yeah, it's like a sensitive. Yeah. It's like people are actually always very sensitive about sports cards, especially because it's like people's it's like their love, their passion, and then you have this asshole going around running ads and posting all this content, helping people make a profit off of it, and I don't know, it just rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And also, whenever you sell anything online, like people just don't like people that sell things, right? It's very clear. I sell something. I sell people a course that teaches people how to make a side income doing it. People just don't like that stuff, right? Like people don't like car salesmen. They don't like mattress salesmen, right? It's just kind of embedded in society too. So there's also that. But sorry, continue.
No, I got you. No, and so I did end up the buying raw and flipping. That's kind of where I did get it mostly from you. But then I was, also doing the 80% and stuff like that. So I'm kind of picking in. I kind of watched a bunch of people and just try to make my money as best I can. Again, it's not like I'm like I have a full-time job, make good money, but this is more or less just to keep buying and getting in the hobby. It's not like I'm spending the money elsewhere. I buy and rip and buy breaks and stuff like that. So I'm making good money, but I'm also spending a lot of it into the industry, so I don't feel too bad about it. But that was my question. I just felt like I was being too strict on it. I'll get cards on eBay and stuff, and I'll be like questionable about it, and I always end up putting it to the side and not sending it in, and end up probably breaking even at that point. So I just didn't know if two dimples or like a small factory line, if you ever saw them come back as
my rule of thumb is one rule of thumb, or if it's like a very light, like factory lines, you're usually screwed. But if it's like very light, then that's okay. And unless it's like a bigger card, like a few $1,000s or more, then I'm like, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. Like the card I made the most amount of money on, like recently was like a year ago. It I had like an edge problem, and I was like, there's no way this is gonna grade. But I was like, screw it. I bought it. It was like $10,000, a card of Ohtani. I bought it in the baseball offseason. Got lucky at 10, then I sold it for 30. So bigger cards I'll just swing, but smaller cards I typically don't. But like if you're doing into
the nines. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Oh, I was just saying that's why I went into the big cards too, is because even if you do get a 9, I feel like I at least get my money back for that fast track grading, because a 9 with a normal card is usually you're breaking even if you're not losing money. A 9 with a $500 card, you're at least paying back yourself with that fast track PSA and.
It depends on the card. Like if I'm buying inside our program, we have this like AI bot we built that scrapes data from eBay, and it lets all the students know like higher end cards that you could buy, get graded, and if it 9s, you still make over 5% on your money after grading. So if you're buying higher end stuff, like I like to go for that, because there's other higher end stuff where it's $600 for a card, and if it gets a 9, it goes down to $400, and after grading, you're losing your ass. So like, if you're buying the higher end stuff, just make sure. I like to be protected. I mean, as we all do. By getting a 9, does
that AI thing scrub higher end cards too? I'm sure most people are doing like $50 to $100 cards, but do you guys end up scrubbing?
There are cards on there from like $30 all the way up to $10,000. It's like it's like a custom software we developed using AI that updates in real time and scrapes eBay data and puts it on this nice simple spreadsheet.
Yeah, I tried to do ChatGPT and just out of curiosity, and they didn't even know what like the updated rosters were and stuff.
It won't.
So anyways, try to do ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is not that. It won't work because it's not that up to date. You need like a custom developer in there using it, and then it'll scrape like our bot or like software. It runs every 24 hours. So in the morning, it updates the sheet, and but it's very expensive. It costs us a lot of money.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, it's a money maker, so I would hope,
it helps the students make more money, which for us is more testimonials. More testimonials is good, obviously. So,
gotcha. Yeah, actually, I did watch your video and I got a 15-minute call that someone texted me and asked me about it. So I was
nice.
setting that up and see how to automate it and stuff. So yeah, I'm still going into it. And again, I'm making money on my side, but if I can automate it, and because it does take a lot of time to go on Facebook groups, Discords, like selling cards, like I never stop. So
yeah,
I can get some.
And then also something else you may want to try. I'm not just. I feel like I'm fucking pitching you my program here, but like you don't have to buy the program. But like something else we do that might help you. Have you watched?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen me talk about a card finder? You ever seen me talk about that?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's like Upwork. Is that the website? I watched the video on it.
Yeah, if you go to Upwork.com, that's where you could find people overseas in the Philippines. And basically, we have like a whole training system. We actually have our own recruiter over there in the Philippines. But you can find people and teach them, like, you know, this is a raw card. This is what it looks like in good condition, corners, edges, blah, blah, blah. You know, what cards to buy. And for $3 an hour, they'll go out, find you cards. You have a Google Sheet you share with them, and you just go in at the end of the day. You buy what looks good, and then you move on to the next day. So for like 4 hours of work, it costs you $12. You have to pay them. And you could easily buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, which obviously makes you much more than $12. So it's like them going on eBay and just basically sifting through it for you and sending you the best stuff.
And you said you have a recruit over there. So like in your thing, do you hook us up with the Upstart thing, or is that, because I did work, I've done Upstart before, and it's just like everyone says they can do it.
You mean Upwork?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Upwork. Yeah. Because everyone says over there, but you're like, can they really? And I don't really want to waste my time trying it. So do you connect us?
Yeah, sort of. So we have 2 programs. There's a cheaper one and a more expensive one. The cheaper one, we give you just like copy and paste doc. You could just give to any of these Filipinos that you find, and it'll teach them everything A to Z. So that's in the cheaper program. In the more expensive program, we have our own like school. Like think of it like a school over there where we teach people, where we teach them just like we teach students in America, but like we teach them how to like sports card, timing, grading, blah, blah, blah. And they have to pass the test. Once they pass the test, then we give them to students. But that's the more expensive program.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it, and I appreciate you answering all my questions.
Sweet. Yeah, any questions, just let me know.
Okay, man, I'll talk to you later.
All right, later. See you. Now we have a record in here. We have 104 people listening. Pretty good. Pretty good. It goes up and up every week. Nice. Good job, Eric. Must be doing something right. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live?
Hey, Eric. This is Josh from...
Wait, you cut out there. Josh from where?
Sorry, Eric. Can you hear me now?
Oh, now it's better. Josh from...
Okay, sorry. Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, cool. Where are you from in Virginia? My uncle is from Burke, Virginia.
Virginia Beach area.
Okay.
Right around there.
Gotcha. Other way. That's Fairfax County, I think my uncle's from. Okay, cool. How can I help?
Yeah. Cool. So I had called in previously about doing like in-person card shows, and those have been super successful with me. And I kind of want to pick your brain on baseball prospecting. What are your thoughts on it? And then how do you know when's the right time to sell? For instance, I'm sitting on a Jacob Wilson blue.
Sell it.
First.
Sell it.
Yeah,
sell it.
Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking, because like those numbers and just like prospects in general, like Jesus Made, like his numbers are crazy, and just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that. Do you wait till they come up, or someone like Jacob Wilson goes off like that? So
how much of my content have you listened to? A lot or a little?
Oh, so much.
Okay, a lot. So so prospecting. It, like everyone has a different definition of that word, but to me it sounds like you're like picking players that you think are going to play well, you're buying them, and then you're waiting till they get called up or till they play, and hopefully you make money. To me, that's a terrible strategy, because like baseball is actually, in my opinion, the worst of it. It is the biggest jump from AAA to the majors, because Major League pitching is just a whole different animal. And most players, even players who are good, like Hall of Fame players, do not play that well their first year. So like the way it looks, and this is not every time, but a lot of the time, a player is excited, they get called up, they start to, and there's a lot of excitement, and they end up hitting 250, and their value goes down, and they have to play really well to get it back up. So like Pete Crow Armstrong, right? He's playing really well now.
Yep.
his value is actually up a lot. But when he first came up, he hit like 250 or something, like not that great. Like Mike Trout, when he came up in he was called up in the summer of 2010, I think, or 2011, I forget. But he hit like 230 from the last half of the season. Then the next season started. Then he popped off. Same thing with Aaron Judge. So like, I do the same thing with baseball as I do with other sports. I buy it in October, November, December, get it graded. I sell it in February, March. I do everything I could to prevent me having those cards when the players start playing, whether they're AA guys, AAA, majors. A lot of the times, like the good guys in AA or AAA, they tend to like play well in AA and AAA when the season starts. So their values usually don't go down. It's like the professional guys, but. I sell it all before the season. If you want my simple answer, I don't like prospect or guess who's going to be good. I guess who's going to have a lot of hype, but that's a lot easier with baseball.
Yeah.
So,
and that's normally what I do is buy during the off season, sell it right before season starts.
And if you take if you take it a step further, I want to tell you this. So it like because I might forget. If you take it a step further, so right now I'm not buying baseball obviously because it's July, but let's pretend it's November, right? And you're deciding who to buy. Mm-hmm. The best guys to buy are the ones who haven't yet played in the majors, but there's a high chance they're going to start for their first time this upcoming spring. So those guys generate a lot of hype, excitement, which means their values go up. So someone who's most likely going to be a first-time starter for their ball club, but hasn't yet played in the majors. Those guys tend to go up a lot in value. Not every time, obviously, but like that can get all fucked up in March if they don't play well in spring training. They might just send them back down to AA. Yeah. So like, but those guys, even if you sell them in February, just when, pitchers report before spring training starts, you should be able to do well just because excitement just builds. So.
For sure. Okay. Because I had been super successful with that kind of like judging who's got the potential to come up, play for the team. Like I just did that with the Jack Caglione to 150 auto. And glad I got rid of that. Right at the beginning of the season. Granted, because he had some increase. Like I think from when I sold it to when he was at his peak, I think it was like a 28% like difference. Yeah. But then it just dropped again. So because as you were saying, he's been playing.
Yeah, and the problem.
So yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but this is also important.
No, you're good.
The problem. So like Jack Caglione, right? He started playing really well in the minors, and then they called him up. And because he was playing really well in the minors, his value went up. And then they called him up, his value went up more. And now he's not. How's he doing now? What are his statistics? Yeah, he's hitting one.
Not the best, but he just hit his first. Yeah, he just hit his first homer, so you saw a little spike there.
Yeah, 148, right? And if you look at, geez, that's worse than I thought.
It's bad.
I'm curious to see his value now, how much it's dipped. Let's see, a Bowman Chrome. So a Bowman Chrome Auto PSA 10 is okay. So like a Bowman Chrome Auto. Let me share my screen. It might be delayed for you because you are I'm on the phone with you. But so like Bowman Chrome PSA 10, right? You could have bought this card. You could have sold it as it got closer to the season. It appreciated like a lot. Like this card was like $800 before the season started. Season starts, he starts playing well, pops up all the way to $1,200, and then they call him up, and then he doesn't play that well, and now we're back down to $650. So the problem is when someone gets called up, like if it's a Tuesday, they get called up, and then they play Wednesday or Thursday. You have like a day or two to sell the cards before he starts actually playing, and then usually when they start playing, he doesn't live up to hype, right? And then it goes back down. And right, if you know anything about simple economics, supply and demand, well, when Jack Caglione, when he gets called up and it's a Monday and he's going to play his first game on Wednesday, what do you think everyone's doing? They're selling their cards and the supply is very high, which means just naturally the demand goes down. So, and then once the demand goes down, right, you have trouble selling it. And then, he starts playing and he starts hitting 148 like he is now. And then now it's down in half. And it happens all the time. So it's just a terrible game to play. You just want to sell it before the season. And not as many people are selling it. The hype goes up. That's the better strategy in my humble opinion.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I was right there with you. So I'd come across it that Jacob Wilson. It's a Jacob Wilson True Blue 150 auto from a buddy that sold it to me like at the dirt cheap during the off season. And I was like, cool. I think his potential to be well, and I think I've got a card show this week, and I'm like, cool. I think I'm going to cash that out really fast. So I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah. No problem. Any other questions?
No, just keep doing what you're doing, and just appreciate everything you do for the community. Always good to have you.
I'm glad my free content could help you make some money.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Cool. Any other questions? Feel free to call in. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Wembanyama tops now? Rookie autos, tops now. I just don't buy. They don't like. They're just not desirable. I just don't buy them. I'll keep it simple for you. Good morning, Eric. Would you grab Nikola Topic for this upcoming season? Depending on the card, sure. So let me share my screen here. I got a lot of energy right now. I went to bed at 9 p.m. If I go to bed before 10:30, I wake up at 6:55 a.m. So if I go to bed before 10:30, I've noticed. Way better. 11, past 11, I'm fucked. Kind of jumping up and down right now. Okay, Nikola Topic, silver prism. So PSA, so like silver is probably not worth buying and getting graded. But he is a player I would buy. So if we look here, let's look at like, I don't know, Purple Ice. Use this as an example. So Purple Ice, oh wow, even this, you're not even doubling your money. Raw is like 58.78 and PSA 10 is 180. Interesting. Let's see what other PSA 10s there are. Blue Ice, see like a Blue Ice. So raw. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so you can see like with a card like this, because Blue Ice is very desirable. There's a lot of margin. You can see that all the way in that dot right there. A Blue Ice did $375, and the raws of this do like $38, like $80. So you just want to make sure, like with these guys, it's weird because there's not like a big market for them. Like I think the market's going to grow as it gets closer to the NBA season. So you just want to make sure you're at least doubling your money at the minimum. And like sometimes you don't know because there's no PSA 10 sales. So general like rules of thumb to follow, I guess, is like like red, blue, anything ice. You want to try to get cards like $50 or more, in my opinion, because those are the types of cards you'll double your money with. So, but yeah, I would buy him. Like, is he as good of a prospect and going to have as much hype as I think of like Stephon Castle, Reed Shepherd, Jared McCain? No, at least I think. But I'd buy him. I'd grab a few. I wouldn't like go all in, but I'd buy him. Invest. By the way, we have another record. 118 people are live right now. That's pretty cool. 118 of you, and there's no one calling. 118 of you guys, and no one has a question about sports cards. I find that hard to believe, unless everybody's at work. That could be another thing. Let's see here. It's a good time to buy NBA. What about WNBA? I just bought a Caitlin Clark Groovy Green and wondering if I'm sending it to PSA, would it take too long since the season has started? Good question. My simple answer to you is Caitlin Clark is the only exception where I don't care if I buy her before the season, after the season, during the season, because, we have a caller. Sorry, I got to cut you off. I'll get back to it. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You are live.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? What's your name?
This is Drew from Arkansas.
Drew, how can I help you, Drew?
Question. So I've been bulk listing tons and tons of cards.
Yep.
I've been using Card Dealer Pro. Well, eBay just rolled out a new program, the photo AI uplistings.
Okay.
Well, my problem is you still have to go through and price each card individually. Do you know of any way to speed that process up?
No. The only way I know to speed that process up is by hiring someone overseas to do it for like $3 an hour.
Gotcha. Got you.
That'd be my
I
best.
was listening.
My best information for that.
10-4. Got you. Yeah, because I've tried Car Dealer Pro and then the other program, and then this new AI software is actually comping. I didn't know if you knew a secret or an app or some kind of program that could help with that.
No.
Maybe we should invent it and become millionaires.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I have is I wouldn't trust it, but like using AI, ChatGPT, but it doesn't have like up to date, real time. Like we have I was telling, I don't know if you were listening, but I told this other guy this. We have like this custom software we built that prices cards in real time and tells us what cards to buy, but we haven't made one for pricing cards. I would just hire someone for $3 an hour.
So just outsource it.
Yep, that's what I would do, and just teach them how to price cards, and then they'll do it for you. That'd be my best bet with that.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate your help, man.
Cool. No problem. Good luck. Now the callers are coming in. Someone asked how my weekend was. Wait, I'll go into that in a second if you're curious. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You were live?
Hey, this is Adam in Santa Fe.
Adam in Santa Fe, New Mexico?
Yes, sir.
Is it worth going there? I've never been to New Mexico.
Man, you're going to love it. You'll never leave.
You mean that?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
What is there to do?
See, ancient cities, one of the oldest capital cities in the United States, and red and green chili, farmers market year round. It's actually quite the life.
This could be a stupid question, but it doesn't snow, right?
Yeah, we get a little snow. There's a little mountain. You get all 4 seasons, so it's quite nice.
You get all 4 seasons. Interesting. That's a state you just don't hear like much about. I've never been to a card show there.
Yeah.
I've never had a reason to go.
Not much, no pro teams, but the UNM, the Lobos do well sometimes, so you get a little bit of action on Sports Center sometimes.
Fair enough. Well, how can I help? How can I make your life better?
Well, I opened up a bar, but then got laid off. I got a small severance, and I unfortunately spent that on whatnot.
But you said you
wasn't thrilled about it.
You opened up a bar?
Opened up a bar.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got laid off from that job, and I got a small severance.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent that on whatnot.
Well,
which I know you don't like getting in breaks or even opening boxes.
Yeah.
But I hit some decent cards. I played in some Optic Contender breaks, in some select breaks. Bigger breaks like case breaks.
Okay.
And then a bunch of regular Optic and mostly Panini stuff, since I know they're not printing next year, licensed. And I got a ton back. I have about 30 cards out for grading, but everything else it's kind of that mid-range card, anywhere from $1 to around $40-50. I have a card show coming up end of the week. So I was just wondering if you had any advice on how to flip the rest of what I have. I probably have a few hundred cards. I have some patches, some autos. I have a little bit of the rookie quarterback stuff, but most of it that was worth grading, I sent to grade. The rest of it, I'm just trying to get some cash back.
Okay. So what's your...
I have a show, it's over 100 tables, and I figured that's the fastest way to do it instead of doing, bulk on eBay. I have a chance now with 100 tables to try and flip it at this show on Sunday.
So you're looking to sell everything you have?
I wouldn't mind it. I'm a Niners fan, so I have a little bit of Niners stuff kept, but everything else, I have a decent amount of stuff. And like I said, most of the cards, there's some cards that people might sell for $1 in their dollar bins. And then I have a lot of higher end stuff that's like rookie quarterback things that are select, but maybe not the top cards.
But if they might be worth getting graded, or do they sell? My rule is if it sells for at least $40 as a PSA 10, I would send it in for grading.
Yeah, that's what I did. I sent about 30 cards in, what I could afford to grade. I had a couple of slabs. I actually did it through PSA. So I traded slabs for grading. So I didn't even spend $1 grading.
Okay. So
that was a good move, I
honestly,
thought, on my part.
Something that you might like is auctioning cards on Whatnot. I've heard that's actually pretty good. I have not done it, but I've heard.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen. I mean, there's children on there doing it. 12-year-olds that
yeah.
have extra cards that are doing it. So I know I could do it. I'm down. I'm a dad. I have a couple of kids, and I just finally got a new job. So I don't have much time.
Have your
time
kids
is the issue
do
for
it
me.
then? You just said kids are doing it.
I have
Have your
like
kids do it?
little one. Yeah, no, I have like little guys, spades, and
Oh, okay.
I got a babe strapped to me right now. Or I would enforce some child labor. But no, yeah, I was just thinking, if you have any tips or suggestions or the way you move cards, if you go to shows or,
Yeah.
what my best move was to not get taken advantage of. Because I don't know if I can comp every single card before I go.
Hire someone overseas to do it. Comp them. Do that for $3 an hour. Or just do it at the show. You might piss some people off, but actually, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. You should probably know all your prices before going to the show. So
I'll go for at least the rookie quarterbacks, and anything else I feel like I'll have a comp for.
Yeah. And I'll just put all the garbage in a $1 bin and you get $1 each for them. So there's no, just you gotta price them, and then I try to sell stuff at 95%, 90%, like slightly below comp. So my table gains a lot of traction. I'm able to build connections and sell cards to people more times in the future.
And then I guess anything I don't sell, would you suggest eBay? Just one at a time.
You could use ComC is a website where you could send a bunch of your crap to, and they'll do it for you for like $1 a card.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I think ComC. Believe they'll do that. COMC.com.
Okay, so maybe even just take like the rookie quarterback stuff and anything that seems like it was a hit up, and try and move the rest of the other stuff that way. Because everything that I have none of it's like base, of course, but none of it was like Wembanyama rookies. So
yeah, I would use ComC for that other stuff that doesn't sell.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. I've been listening all the time. I usually have a sleeping baby with me when I do, but this is the first time I've been able to call in. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
And I like what you do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good luck out there.
Thanks, brother. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye. Now we got a queue. Sorry, people in the chat. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, this is Gary from Indiana.
What's up, Gary from Indiana? How can I help?
Hey, I just recently got a JJ McCarthy Uptown, and it's too late to send it into PSA. Would it just be advisable to take it to the National and grade it, or just sell it raw there?
Why is it too late to send it into PSA?
Well, football is just so close.
What does it sell for? Is it 10?
I have not even looked it up, honestly.
I got it for you here. Sells for like $700 as a 10. Raw is like $260. I would send it in using the $40 service. It's 20 business days. You'll get it back in a month ish.
I can do just one solo card with that.
Yeah. Or if you want to be more conservative,
I normally just send in the 20 for $20. So that's why I've never done the upgraded service.
Yeah, then you're running a risk. I would just send it in using, honestly, I'd probably just for safety measures use the $60 service, 15 business days. It's definitely not too late.
Just use the upper echelon service.
Yep. Correct. And maybe you might even get it back before Nationals.
That would be nice.
Yeah, right? That would be.
All right. Well, appreciate it, boss.
No problem. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. Another one.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? You got Eric. You are live on the show.
Eric, it's Jeffers from Oregon. I spoke to you a couple weeks ago. Or it was a couple weeks ago.
Wait, say your name again. What was it?
This is Jeffers from Oregon.
Jeffers. Shit,
and you said one of your first, I guess, clientele was like from here.
Yeah, he was from Bend.
Like that.
He was from Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm calling to update you on something you advised me on.
Hopefully, I gave you good advice.
It was I ended up on a break with Hitman, and it was a flawless break, and I ended up getting four 405 Curry Emerald Plus Vertical. And I didn't know what to do with it. You advised me to go and get that to golden. I got it to golden. It ended up going for $7,000.
Oh shit! Was it autographed?
Yeah, it was autographed, and it was vertical. But that was the main thing. That was like that was the most sought off.
Were you happy with the result?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So I made one big purchase right after that.
Which was what?
Guess what? $2,000 into your program.
Oh shit! Oh, you bought the program. Nice. Oh, that's the way. That's the way to do it. Usually people. Usually it's the opposite. Usually people break, they lose a lot of money, and then they join the program. But you did it the opposite. You actually made some money, then used it. Well, good for you.
Yeah, well, I think I listened to you only like a couple of days before that. And, because I knew the card was coming in, and then when it finally came in, and I sent it off. So, yeah. But I did have a couple of questions. Oh, and that freaking that one technique actually worked for me yesterday. Just not dialing in a round number. I actually put like 275, and I think I put in 83 cents, and that actually took me in. I actually won somebody who actually bid 275. So
yeah, it does work when you bid a random number. Yeah, because you might as well just give yourself it gives yourself like a tiny advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was jumping in, the card actually sold. I was like, oh, fuck, I got it.
Oh so, man, that guy that bid 275 is probably pissed. He probably thinks there's something wrong with you. He's like, who bids 275 and 37 cents?
Exactly. So, what I actually been doing lately is I actually been going on Facebook Marketplace, and I joined a couple groups. Dude, there's like surprisingly a lot of people just throwing out cards just to get rid of them, and and I actually landed a friggin' awesome card yesterday. It was where is it? Right here. If you want to look at it, it's a Stefan Castle rookie, gold rookie, and it was radiating rookies.
Okay.
And I guess it was overlooked. No one really replied to them. And then I didn't realize how rare this card was because there's only one that's been sold.
What is it? Castle Radiating Rookies?
Rookies. Yeah, it's the gold one.
The number?
No, unfortunately. But I still can't find too many of that.
Yeah, it's worth like 120 to 150. Seems like.
Yeah, but the thing is, if no one's PSA'd this, that should be like one of the first ones too, right?
Yeah, as a 10, I'd imagine it's 300-ish.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
but I think this falls in the line of you saying that buy the basketball now, and then that's why I like kind of got it too, because I overheard you saying that this is one of the people you want to look out for. So it all went in sync and went all in play, and I was like, hey, might as well do it. So I took a chance on it, and yeah, I got it. It's pretty. I looked at all the corners and everything, and like it's pretty nice.
Cool. Well, I'm glad getting I'm not going to give myself credit for you getting lucky in a break because I have nothing to do with that. But you sending it to Golden seemed like that card did well. Sounds like things are going well for you.
So we'll see. I'm kind of struggling with the program because I told my first mentor guy after I signed in that I was in the military, and then I ended up having PTSD, depression, and all that. So my focusing and all that isn't quite there. So it's kind of it's taking me a while to get through all the videos because it doesn't exactly comprehend to me. I have to watch it a couple times.
Reach out to Josh, the one who runs the academy. He was actually in the military as well. Reach out to him through the quality email. He'll hop on a one-on-one call with you and help you.
Okay, so that's him then, right?
Josh. Okay. Yeah, that's Josh.
Yep. I've been on a couple of his meetings. He's real cool.
Yeah. Reach out to him. He'll hop on with you. Just tell him the scenario.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Awesome. Perfect. I already shot him an email already, actually yesterday before I went to sleep. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool. Thanks. I just want to say thank you for everything.
Yeah,
And,
dude. Keep crushing.
yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Sweet. Any others? No other callers? Well, I'll give that a wrap. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Have an amazing week. And this upcoming Friday, I'll be unboxing a $5,000 case or $4,000 to $5,000 case of National Treasures and be giving away all the cards for free. It'll be super exciting. Subscribe if you want access to the giveaway. And literally, there's no gimmicks. It's just all the cards for a $5,000 case. I'm just giving them away to one person. Not gimmicky. There's no catch. All you have to do, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.